Hey guys, Beagle here, and today I'm going to show you how I wash my fursuit. Now notice this video isn't titled how to wash a fursuit, it's how to wash my fursuit. That's because every fursuit is different and may require different care. So if you want to know the best way to wash your fursuit, contact your maker first. This video is just meant as a general guideline in case your maker didn't give you specific instructions or you made your own suit and want to know how to wash it. Now the first thing you have to ask yourself is, should I machine wash it or should I hand wash it? If you have a suit that has a lot of attached body parts such as feet paws or a tail or lots of airbrushed markings and delicate colors, you probably should hand wash it. In my case, I have a pretty simple bodysuit with separate hands and tail, so I machine wash it. Again, ask your maker first before you make these decisions. The next question you want to ask yourself is, should you turn your bodysuit inside out or not? Doing this can help prevent long fur from being tangled up. Since my bodysuit has really short fur, my maker recommended that I don't turn it inside out. Also, what parts are washable? If you have paws or tails that are just plain stuffing and don't have hard surfaces or built-in shoes or anything like that, they should be washable. So my maker told me just throw the tail in the washer. Next, I'm going to load in my bodysuit. Again, my maker said I don't need to turn my fur inside out. However, some makers might recommend that you do so. Now, your washing machine settings are very important. This is the difference between having a clean fursuit and destroying a $1,000 piece of artwork. Most important thing is that fursuits cannot withstand heat, so absolutely no hot water. Set your washing machine on the coldest setting and the gentlest setting. In my case, I set my machine to cold water and hand wash. Now, there are many types of soaps to choose from. The type of detergent you add is also very important. Detergents that are too strong can damage your fur colors or any markings. We have powdered, liquid, and pod detergents here. I don't recommend using powdered detergents for fursuits, as the gentle wash setting can cause it not to dissolve properly and it can get dried and clumped up in your fur. Liquid and pods are your best bet. Also, another important thing to note is not to use any bleaching agents with your fursuit, as these can wash out the colors in your fur. In this case, I'm going to use one Tide Pod.
So now that we're done with the body, we can work on the parts that can't go in the washer. More likely than not, you should not put your fursuit head in the washing machine unless you have explicit permission from your fursuit maker. For my head, I spray the insides using a solution of 50% rubbing alcohol and 50% water. I just lightly mist the insides of my head, but before I do that, I cover the insides of my eyes with tissues to prevent the paint from bleeding out from getting wet. Now I can gently mist the inside of my head. Once I'm done, I like to leave my head open to ventilate and let all the alcohol and water solution dry up. The same thing goes for my feet paws, which can't go into the washing machine because I have shoes built in, but I can still give it a light spray to get rid of any scents. For the outside, I use Folex carpet cleaner to get rid of any dark spots in the fur. Simply spray it onto the fur and make sure you get it saturated. Well, not quite dripping wet, but enough to cover the fur. Just kind of lather it in like you would if you were shampooing your hair. Once that's done, try to dry it off a bit with some paper towels or tissues. Brush the fur and then leave it in front of a fan to dry. So now my fursuit is done being washed, but we have to dry it. Like I said before, fursuits cannot handle heat, so we cannot put this in a dryer or it will literally melt. Instead, I have it hung up on a rack next to a fan. Typically, you don't want to hang a wet fursuit on a hanger, as the weight of the fursuit will cause it to stretch, unless you have one of those hangers with a built-in fan that blows downwards, which will dry out your suit pretty quickly. So here you can see my fursuit looks like a old tangled up carpet because it's all wet and soggy, so we have to brush it. So using my brush, I'm gonna make sure all the fur is smooth. And we're gonna flip it over and do the same for the back side and all 4 limbs. This is gonna prevent it from getting all tangled up once it dries. And now we're going to turn on the fan and leave it going for a few hours. So after washing a fursuit, you'll find that the inside of your machine might be covered with bits of fur, and this will get stuck to any of your regular clothes if you wash them after that. So we want to clean out the inside of the machine. Basically, I just use a paper towel and I just sweep it around the edges and try to get all that loose fur out. So it is now the next day and my fursuit is all dry. This next step is optional, but as you can see, I've turned my bodysuit inside out. This is because during the washing, a lot of loose fur gets stuck on the inside of the suit. What I like to do is using a lint roller, just go over the inside of the suit and get rid of all that loose fluff so that it doesn't get stuck to my Under Armour or skin next time I suit up. And that is how I wash my fursuit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.